Movie Blab. Movie Blab. Y'all, stick with us. It's coming at ya. A fat fave swap. The dopest. Police story. The craziest. Training day. Two friends swap favorites. That's right, guys. Let's find out what we thought. Also, news with Loosh. So don't go away. It's coming at you. How are the music levels for you guys? Is that all right?
Good. It's a little bit loud.
Okay.
Yeah, we're jamming over here.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what my favorite cop movie would be, and I'm sorry, I think it would be Kindergarten Cop.
This is, yeah, it's just the one we pick for each other, you know?
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
personal, but I would totally like Kindergarten Cop. Here we come, guys. It's gonna be a good one. Are you ready?
I know I am.
Let me tell y'all motherfuckers something. I don't know what the fuck this coronavirus is about. I don't understand how that shit was from Wuhan, China. Now all of a sudden this shit is a motherfucking sword. And let me tell y'all something. I ain't gonna front. I'm a little kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, shit got me panicking. And a lot of you motherfuckers think it's a joke, kiki, like I was thinking, right? But that shit right there, just because you think you amused to it, guess what? Your pocket ain't, bitch, because a lot of shit comes from motherfucking China, bitch. So if you wonder where your motherfucking weed or your fashion over motherfucking packages have arrived, guess what, bitch? Coronavirus! Coronavirus!
Hey everybody, I'm Andrew Edison, and you're tuned in
to Movie Blab.
The clock has started.
The clock has started.
Action! What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of Movie Blab. Joining me today is Matt Cragg for a special police-themed fave swap. Plus, we've got news with Loosh. That's right, it's gonna be a good one. Tune in and find out what we think about all the movies on Movie Blab. Hello again, everyone. I'm Andrew Edison, and you're watching Movie Blab. How's it going? I want to welcome my guests, Matt Cragg and Lucia Baird. How are you guys today?
You go first, Lucia.
He has to think about his answer. He has to think for a minute.
You know, I'm doing okay. It's one of those days. It's still quarantine, and I don't know, so can't complain. But you know,
well, and I won't let you. Matt Cragg looking great in his Simpsons T-shirt. How are you doing today?
Thanks, brother. I'm doing great. I watched Training Day today, which is always a good day.
Yes.
And I bought some Modelo's, so I'm ready to go for this show, man.
He's got the full Movie Blab package. It's Modelo's and a fresh viewing of a favorite movie. That's right, guys. It's going to be an amazing fave swap today with Matt Cragg. I gave him Police Story to watch, and he gave me Training Day. For those of you who haven't seen a fave swap before, neither of us have seen the other movie, and so that's the fun of it. We're giving each other a movie to see for the first time that we should have probably seen a long time ago, and that we think is perfect for us to watch. So, all very confusing the way I just said that, but the point is we're swapping favorites, and it's going to be awesome, and that's coming up in just a second, right, guys? It's coming up real soon in the show, but first...
Real soon.
Before that, though, I believe we have some...
Breaking news.
That's right, guys, breaking news. and I think it's time to just talk about a few stories. What do you guys think?
I love it. Let's do it.
Love it. I don't even know what the headlines are today, so I'm excited for y'all to break them down.
That's the fun of breaking news. Someone's got to give you the headlines, and you might as well get them live from me. That's right, guys.
It's Movie News Blab with Lucia Baird and Matt Cragg. And now, here's your lead anchor, me.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so our top story today, guys, was Sundance a first petri dish of coronavirus in the States? So
I totally believe it. Yeah.
A lot of international travel around January.
Right?
Yeah.
I can see it. I can see it happening. I mean, they would have just given it to each other and then taken it back to LA and New York.
All those unvaccinated Hollywood weirdos. Yeah.
All those Scientologists.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do Scientologists vaccinate? I have no idea.
I don't know.
If you're a Scientologist and please reach out and let us know if you vaccinate.
I think thetans keep you safe from.
The thetans are the vaccination. I see.
That's something like that.
That's a good point. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. Let's see. It just says that it seems like there is some evidence of this, but this article is basically just like the Sundance flu was going around at that time.
Everyone was getting sick at Sundance, huh?
Yes. Well, but that's a regular thing that happens, you see. It's just a regular occurrence. Anyway, so it's like it's interesting that this time maybe they mistook it and everyone was just like, yeah, it's the Sundance flu.
Yeah, when we went to Park City, I got a little sick, but I think it was from all the drinking that I was doing.
That's probably true, and it's good that you at least know why, I don't know what's going on here with this, but this is an interesting read from the Hollywood Reporter. I'm struggling over here, guys.
The Holly Weird
Reporter.
Yeah.
Very weird.
The Guardian, and I feel like I totally agree. I mean, in early March, I was on a bus with my coworkers, and every single one of us was sick after that. So I feel like
it's going. I think there's a lot of different.
Lucia, I thought you were gonna say something like, "You're like, oh yeah, in early March I was in Milan, Italy, and then I came back, and I don't know, I was just feeling really sick, and then everyone around me started getting sick."
I was on a bus to Dallas with a bunch of 18-year-olds, and I don't know. That was it. We actually got stuck in traffic and just sat in the bus for 4 hours before we turned around to go home. So I'm pretty sure we all caught it then, if I'm going to be totally honest. We've got a few people from my work.
The science is in.
Yeah. So I believe it. I think
so you're immune.
Yeah. I mean, by now, probably.
Who knows, right?
Yeah. I don't think they've proven you can't get it again, though, even though I don't know if that's not how viruses work. Science, right?
Listen, the thing about us here at Movie Blab is we leave all the science to the scientists.
Yes.
And I will, when a medical professional tells me that it's okay to go back to Sundance, I will. But until then, no Disney theme parks, no Sundance, no fun of any kind. I will be sitting on my butt drinking Modelo's.
That one is so much worse. I thought it was just gonna be one little fart.
It's so many. It's like explosive.
It's so gross. I'm so sorry.
Why would you do that to us?
I was like, throw a little fart in there. Didn't check it, and then it turns out to be like a vomit-inducing 10-second clip.
Now you know.
Now we know. Anyway, what did you guys think of that? Oh, they didn't like it. That's bad. Anyway, let's move on to our next story. What do you say? We got some more.
Do it. There's more news.
Christopher Nolan wants to be. So this is interesting. Christopher Nolan wants to be the hero of movies by saving theaters by releasing his movie I don't understand what the idea is, but he's just
Tenet?
gung-ho on Tenet going to theaters. The mantra among coronavirus movie theater people is just wait until Tenet. And this idea that this is going to bring back movies on July 17th, the way that he's done again and again with Inception and The Dark Knight and Dunkirk.
Do you think maybe he's worried that if you can't watch his newest movie on 16 millimeter, that people are going to realize that it's actually bad?
Yeah, I think people. That's a hot take, and I swear I have a hot take sound. Yes, that was a hot take. It's not a great sound, but it works. I think that he'd rather people die than not see his movie on the silver screen. Apparently. Hopefully July will be different.
Theaters in Houston are allowed to open, but none of them are. They're allowed to be open, I think, right now, but they're choosing.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be going to a movie theater anytime soon.
No.
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
I love the movie theaters. I love them.
Yeah.
But no.
Nope, not for now. Anyway, interesting.
Not even to see Tenet.
There's a lot of interesting explanations about, announcements from Disney. But Hercules, the remake, won't be a literal translation of the animated movie.
Why are they doing this?
I don't know. Lucian, didn't you and I cover this story about Hercules? Maybe not.
No, it wasn't me.
Okay.
But, man, that's rough. First Mulan, they're not singing that one song that we all want to hear, and now this.
And this is produced by the Rousseau brothers.
I mean, the point of them remaking all these movies is them to, like, keep all the copyrights and just exploit on nostalgia porn. So why wouldn't they just make the same movie over again? We know that's a financially viable thing. Like, even if they're not good, they make money. People go and see them.
Yeah.
It's just them just like being like, we're not going to make any new movies. We're just going to remake all of our old ones, but they're going to be like a little bit off. It's just like so weird.
And now they can't even take any kind of risks, sadly, right? On big, like, they're going to take even less risks now as a result of the economy and all that kind of stuff. So the studios.
Yeah.
It's going to get even worse is what I'm saying.
Oh, you mean they'll just keep remaking their old shit?
Yeah, even more now because they don't have, they're going to take less bets on new properties because of a lot less people are going to be going to the movies in the first place.
These remakes, the best one I've seen so far has been the Lady and the Tramp remake, because they took everything that you love about that movie from the 60s and they made it a lot better, but they included everything too. You know? Okay.
I'll check that one out. I've heard you mention that.
The thing about that is, like, that's an old movie that, like, it's been long enough that the remake makes sense. But, like, The Lion King and Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast and now Hercules, and it's like, yo, these movies, like, I remember when these movies came out. Like, I was a kid. Like, and you're just doing it again.
They're not doing it for us. They're doing it so that they can put it out in a way that will engage this newer generation, which is used to way doper shit than just, like, a hand-drawn cartoon, I guess. They want, like, they think that giving it the CGI treatment is going to engage the new generation of audiences. And so as with putting Beyonce in it and all that shit and changing the music up to make it more cool for the kids, like, it's just like,
I felt like Aladdin was like a Disney Channel original movie. Like, it seemed like the budget was that small. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was definitely like that. My husband was like, is this The Descendants? I don't know if you guys have seen the Disney Channel.
Not, but
Andrew and I we saw Beauty and the Beast in theaters together.
We did.
And it was such a miserable experience that
even after a few margaritas.
Yeah, even after a couple of margaritas, it still was miserable. And so I've been kind of avoiding a lot of these Disney remakes.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass and I don't know what I'm talking about. But, like, to me, it seems like they're weird.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, and Lion King was disappointing, but Lady and the Tramp was very good. I highly recommend it.
Highly recommend Lady and the Tramp.
I'm gonna
Okay,
check it out. I gotta use my Disney
get,
Plus account for something.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got another story real quick. Speaking of Disney Plus, National Treasure TV series getting ready to solve history's mysteries. This is from Slash Film. It's not going to feature Nick Cage. It's going to be a younger version. So,
okay, I'm still into this.
I kind of am too.
I'm so into this
because it's great anyway. National Treasure TV series.
It could be super episodic, you know, kind of like you remember they made those young Indiana Jones TV shows with River Phoenix.
Yeah.
I think that this could be like that. You pack in one of his adventures into a 30-minute episode. And you can do them every week.
Yeah,
that's great. I'm into it.
It's very.
Well, you had it.
Yeah, it's one of the few things that I'm not precious about National Treasure. Is anyone? You know, like it's a good one to turn into a series because it's just about having a good time with the ideas in it. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they could make another one, and I wouldn't be pissed.
Well, they're completely historically inaccurate too, which makes them like kind of fun.
Yeah. Makes them easier to churn out as a TV series, though. I'm
sure. Yeah. No, I'm into this. Do they have any casting rumors on who might play a young Nick Cage?
Casting rumors on who might play a young Nick Cage. Let's see. I don't think so. I think they're just teasing stuff to have news.
Well, let's each come up with our own idea version
okay, good.
of a
That's
young
perfect.
Nick Cage.
Yes. A much younger cast, it says. So it's the same concept, but a young cast.
Okay.
Thinking like Riverdale, but younger even.
Yeah,
maybe.
probably. It's like a mystery team, basically. Sounds to me like a mystery team version of it.
You know who I think would be good
Who?
is that guy Steve from Stranger Things, the like slightly older kid on Stranger Things.
Oh, okay.
With big hair.
Yeah.
Would be good. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be my pick.
My pick would be the fat kid from Bad Grandpa. I don't know what he's doing now, but he's great.
You might be a little old now.
Uh-huh.
I think at this point, everything needs to be able to also be a musical. So my pick's going to be Shawn Mendes.
Okay.
Oh,
I like that. I like that take.
A lot. I like that.
Thank you.
That's a hot take right there.
Because that's how Broadway is surviving now, by just stealing ideas from Hollywood and turning them into musicals. So you're right. I think everything should be able to be a musical for Broadway's survival.
I'm noticing a lot of original songs in the newer Simpsons seasons that I'm watching too.
Oh, how are those? I really got to jump into those immediately.
They're fun. I like. They're fun. I like them. William likes them too. We've been watching them.
Good, William.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's all of our top stories today. Oh no, there's one more. I'm sorry.
Alamo. Yeah.
The Alamo Draft House. That's a big one. They just put out their own platform for
another
renting.
Streaming platform.
Yep. In a sense, it's for renting and buying. So it's not it's not a subscription based thing.
Like iTunes or Amazon.
You go to ondemand.drafthouse.com, and basically what's interesting about it is they have these staff picks. They're doing things a little differently. They have the Fantastic Fest favorites. They have a lot of cult movies and stuff that I'm not sure is available where it's available, at least in that quality. And I mean, they have their Terror Tuesdays. It's just to give people a virtual experience of the Draft House.
I like this. I like this.
Me too.
Especially if they are doing more of those B movie horrors from the 70s and 80s that they love so much, or those super indie films that you're not going to really be able to see anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly. And so they're also doing these things called six packs where I'm clicking the wrong thing. For $13 you can rent 6 comedies or 6 Korean cinema films or 6 Terror Tuesdays or Weird Wednesdays. And then you could buy them for $42. You know, it's a whole thing.
does a part of this come with someone coming into your house and kind of standing in front of you and like quietly asking you what you would like to drink while you're trying to watch the movie?
They should team up with Seamless or something, or like Postmates or whatever.
Someone
I think this is a good example of keeping up with the, climate. If the last 2 months have taught us anything, if we can't get it at home, then you might not be able to get it.
Yeah. I mean, people are making moves. They're making moves here.
This is a good idea. Alamo Drafthouse generally has pretty good ideas, so.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I think it's gonna work for them.
Lucia, is there an Alamo in Houston? There isn't there?
I don't think so. If there is, no, I don't think so. There might be one
in North Houston, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I'm actually there, so I'll check it out if there is one. In 6 months when things reopen.
Well, I thank you guys for the news. It was a good one. Real quick before we get to our fave swap, after this little break, a quick little break. We have an intern corner. You guys excited?
I've never been more excited for anything in my entire life.
Yay! All right, guys, this is intern corner. It's the game. It's the segment where we allow our intern Alex Kahn to come on the show and talk to us about anything that's on his mind for a quick corner. And let's see what can be done here. In the meantime, Matt Cragg, why don't you tell us about that Simpsons t-shirt?
Andrew bought himself this Simpsons t-shirt, but it was too big, and because I'm a great big old fat ass, he gave it to me. And I'm really happy about it. Because it's very soft and it's very cool.
It's got the whole family. The pets are there.
Except for Grandpa. Grandpa's not on it, but it does have pretty much the whole family. I spilled mustard on it the other day, and I was really nervous. But don't worry, I got the mustard out.
Amazing.
Thank you.
I love that. Yeah, that's a great shirt. Where did you get it? I need one.
I don't remember. I think I got it at Target. All right, guys, it's time for Intern Corner. That's right, it's Intern Corner with Alex Kahn. We don't know what he's going to say, but it'll probably be random. Let's see how he does, because we can cut him off whenever we want. Let's play the game. Intern Corner. Here he is, Mr. Alex Kahn. Oops. Go ahead, Alex.
So yeah, I was just thinking about this, and I still remember, like, I wasn't allowed to see like R-rated movies until I was around 13. But I was just remembering, like, I always felt like when I like go back to like the PG-13 action films I liked when I was a kid, they're actually like more violent than the films are like violent that are like rated R. Like I remember there's like some big movies like I talked to my dad about. They're like, these violent films, like Taxi Driver, for instance. Like Taxi Driver has one violent scene. If you watch like an average P-13 action film, you'll see like 50 violent scenes. Or like Midsommar, for instance, which was a very violent film, has like 3. While like most like P-13 action films have like maybe like 45 or 50 action scenes, but they just don't show blood.
Yeah, I mean that's the main thing, right? Is that whether or not they show blood and gore, because like people will have action movies where they just punch each other, and then like it doesn't seem to really affect them at all.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of like kind of tolerance for just violence, but like for instance, like sex is like completely
in Hollywood, crazy. Really?
Like sex, like there's so much tolerance for violence in movies. I think.
What?
There's so much tolerance for violence in movies. There's so much tolerance for violence.
I agree. I think that sex in movies, it makes it a much, more R-rated movie. You're not going to see a lot of hanging dong. There's mostly prosthetics. It's true. It's true.
I guess I'm just surprised to learn that there's sex and violence in movies. I've never noticed that before.
Are you 12? But yeah, there's so much tolerance for violence in movies, but there's just none for sex or even language. Like, you literally can have only one fuck in a PG-13, I think.
Right, speaking of 12, that was Intern Corner with Alex Kahn. Happy birthday, Alex. It's the big one, too. We love you very much.
It is not my birthday.
It's going to be a good one, guys. Happy birthday to you.
It is not my birthday.
Oh, that was a really good one, guys. Loved that. Hot takes all around.
Was he saying that PG-13 movies are more violent than R-rated movies?
Honestly,
you have to take into consideration the amount of sex that's probably in those R-rated movies. I think that's what he was saying.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
I loved it.
But it was great. It was a great segment.
Yeah. And we will see you guys in just a second after the break. We're going to be diving in. We're going to say goodbye to Lucia. Lucia, we love you. Thank you for the news.
Bye, Luce.
Anything you want to plug, Lucia?
If you're interested in cleaner, safer Beauty Counter is a great company, and we can talk more. Just send me a DM.
All right, check it out, guys. Lucia's Lotions. That's what you need. Get in there. All right, guys, we're going to see you in just a second. Thank you, Lucia, again, and we'll be back with Matt Cragg and our police fave swap of Police Story and Training Day. See y'all in a sec.
Bye.
This is our Patreon.com. You can go to MovieBlab and pay us for a little bit of help. We could use it because of subscription bills. Please help us just a little bit, $1 to $2 to $3 every month. That would be great. Love you very much. We'll be right back with more Blab. What are you, 12?
Just getting dragged by Alex Kahn.
You were stunned.
I was like, wow, I'm clearly being sarcastic.
You're like, I'm not even going to get back. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response.
No.
It was a good one. It was a really good one. We're coming back, guys. We'll be back real soon. Tune in. Shout out to Ruth Gordon.
We stand. We stand a queen.
We're back in 30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're back, guys. Lucia has sadly left us, so I will say goodbye to her. You are watching Movie Blab. I'm Andrew Edison. This is Matt Cragg.
Yo.
And you're watching Fave Swap. This is a Fave Swap that we're both super fucking excited about. Am I right?
Because both of these movies are perfect movies. There's nothing wrong with either one.
Yeah, it's gonna be real happy, excited vibes on this one because that's where we're at with this. I mean, it is. These are two great movies that we're talking about. It's gonna be. We've got Fave Swap. We've got Training Day, and Police Story. So these are the movies that we've done a little switcheroo. I gave Police Story to you, Cragg.
Yes.
You've never seen this movie before. And
I gave you Training Day, and
yes.
I could not believe you had never seen it before.
I know, it's always embarrassing doing a fave swap, but yes, I hadn't seen it, and I loved that movie, and I can't wait to talk about that first. That's the one we're diving into. And I can't believe you hadn't seen Police Story, although it's a little bit more embarrassing that I hadn't seen Training Day.
Yeah, but that's okay. You know, we're not here to cast blame. We're not here to judge. We're here to love these new movies that we've watched.
Yes, I think that's a great take. And honestly, I couldn't be more excited. The police are some of my favorite types of movie characters, and movies seem to be.
That's a good way to put it.
Yes. That's how we're going to talk about the police in terms of being movie characters. And I like my police when it comes to being in movies. I like them nice and corrupt. And you picked for me, Matt Cragg, a movie that is
the most corrupt police officer of all time.
I don't know. I would challenge that, but definitely the most corrupt
in film.
In the film, you think he's the most corrupt of all time?
What's a more corrupt police officer than Denzel Washington in this movie?
Well, so I don't want to spoil it for you, but in Magnum Force,
okay,
there's one who just straight up murders people, just straight up, and I feel like I don't know. You're right. You know, Denzel
does that too.
Yeah, you're right. He murdered a lot of fucking people. You're right. I guess Bad Lieutenant. He's not as hardcore.
In Bad Lieutenant, you can tell that he's like a good person. Like
Port of Call, New Orleans, right?
Yeah, Port of Call, New Orleans. Yes. He does bad things.
Yeah.
But you can tell he's struggling with that and like who he is, and he's like a good person. In this movie, like Denzel Washington is not a good person. So I guess just a little rundown of the film for those who haven't seen it or haven't seen it in a long time. Ethan Hawke,
my favorite.
Ethan Hawke is a rookie cop. He's been riding around in a patrol car for like a number of months, and now he's getting an opportunity to go to the narcotics division. And he's like, "Oh, I'm going to the narcotics division. This is a career maker unit. If I do this for a little while, I can become a detective, maybe have my own squad."
They set it up perfectly. Like he has to. Like they really do it. They really spend a lot of time making it clear that he has to do this.
He's like, points. He's got a wife and a newborn child. Yeah. He's like trying to provide for his family, and he's just he's a young cop, ready to learn. He's very green, but he's ready to go.
Ready to go.
And then and the entire course of this movie takes place in one day.
Which I love movies that do this.
Yes. This is a great trope in movies. I also love movies that do this. And it's like every event is like sequential.
Yeah.
But so this day is his one day to prove to Denzel Washington, who is the cop that runs the narcotics division, that he is able to handle it. That, he's not just some rookie. He's going to go out there and he's going to make Denzel proud.
Yes.
And he doesn't know a whole lot about Denzel and Denzel's character. But as the day goes on, you start to realize more and more that Denzel Washington is the most corrupt police officer that's ever existed. And the movie is sort of about Ethan Hawke, like, struggling with is he gonna become dark like Denzel? Like, is he gonna become a bad guy? Like, is he gonna become a crooked cop, or is he gonna maintain like his like character and morality?
Yeah.
It's such a good movie.
It's so good. Yeah. I'm gonna hang up on you real quick just because you're coming out of you're a bit out of sync, but now I'm back in here. I think that was a perfect summary of the movie. It drew me in right away. And Denzel Washington like hit the mystique around his character and how they slowly reveal it. And what's his name? Cop. What do you call him?
Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke, yeah, right. It's Ethan Hawke and Denzel Washington.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Ethan Hawke. I should know him. He's incredible. Ethan Hawke is like the perfect. We are Ethan Hawke in this movie, and we see and inspect this morality issue as it evolves and reveals itself. We see it all through him and his inner turmoil, and it literally starts with like, I mean, his first. I think we can kind of get into some of the plot, but
let's do it.
The first thing he has to do is pretty much is like smoke some weed that turns out to be laced with PCP in order to impress Denzel, and the challenges just continue from there. And Ethan Hawke has such a difficult role. Yeah.
There's some great one-liners from Denzel. As I'm sure all of you know, like, this is where all of those Denzel gifs come from, is like from this movie.
Yes.
So if you've ever seen a gif of Denzel Washington, it's probably from this movie.
I should have pulled up some.
Yeah.
Drop them in the comments.
Yeah, but so like he gets him to smoke the weed, and it turns out it's laced with PCP, and Denzel Washington looks at him and he says, "Boy, I didn't know you like to get wet."
He talks to him in so many crazy, funny ways, and it's like it's all under this guise that Ethan Hawke's character it doesn't understand the streets, like hasn't seen the streets and know how to fight it.
He didn't understand.
But it turns out Ethan Hawke can like kick ass. Like he can he can fight two hobo rapist people.
Yeah, there's that scene. So there's another scene in which Ethan Hawke notices right after getting high on PCP, he notices, like, as they're driving along, that there's these two crackheads that seem to be like assaulting this woman, and he like jumps out of the car and like runs after them and like beats the shit out of these two guys like, on his own. Like,
while he's fucking fucked up too. Yeah. It made me wish Ethan Hawke had played Spider-Man at some point. Like, he would have been a lit Spider-Man.
Yeah. No, but this movie, oh God, what were some of your favorite scenes, Andrew?
Okay, I was gonna ask you this question. I think let me just quickly fix this. Why don't you start with yours and I'll give you mine. I just need to make it so people know what we're doing. Actually, we're good. Boom. My favorite scene. One of my favorite. Okay, I loved the poker scene at the end. The whole moment
with Smiley.
Yeah,
the gangster.
Yes,
the Hispanic
and the phone call and the gun in the pointing the gun at him and about to execute him, and the wallet falls out, and he sees that he actually, speaking of that scene, that the girl that he saved from being raped by these two homeless people, right? Ends up being the reason that his life is spared, and I thought that was like, it was a perfect example of how this movie just has like asks you to just accept absurd things, but makes it pay off in dividends, right? Like,
yeah,
like there's a lot you could question about it. Like, why is Snoop Dogg's character in a wheelchair? Or like, why does like how does Ethan Hawke seriously like there's been enough red flags that if he does actually, I mean, it works because he turns out that he's more of
it's a lot of the things that ask us to believe is like, how has Denzel been getting away with this kind of activity for so long?
And if you want to ruin the movie for yourself and ask yourself those questions, you can, but I don't think the movie even gives you time to do that because it's so well paced and so well edited and so in later and out earlier, in terms
the
of
way
the scenes.
it's like it's such a daze. It feels like such a dream that Ethan Hawke is in, and it makes sense too because one of the first things he does is get high on PCP. So like this whole day, because it's only over the course of one day. So Ethan Hawke is like high for like at least the first half of the movie,
and it makes his arc like it makes his arc like not knowing. It makes his arc like not being able to make these moral choices because he needs to like sober himself, and he's doing that by getting drunker, and he's literally at the mercy of this guy. He's basically been held hostage by him. The moment I sent you a text, the moment that the movie was like, when I was like, oh, this movie's gonna be fucking badass, and it was this. It's the frame grab is of when he first points a shotgun at him or his big handgun at him in the car. And then he puts it to his head, and he literally 15 minutes into them meeting each other. Yeah.
But one of the parts, I mean, like it starts off like the first scene. The first scene is like Ethan Hawke with his wife and child, and then the second scene is him meeting Denzel Washington at a diner. And then the third scene is them getting into Denzel's like all black like Monte Carlo with hydraulics.
Yes. Oh, and the diner scene.
And then they're just off.
Yes,
and then
they're off.
Like,
it's done. Yeah. And
the
diner scene is when it's like, okay, Denzel's gonna kick ass in this, and it's like, this is amazing. How come every great movie suddenly like sexy Eva Mendes shows up?
Yeah, it's like, oh my god,
every time I love a movie.
Anytime I love a movie, you're just surprised by a sexy. You get full frontal Eva Mendes in this movie.
I spoke around it, but I like it. It was, but also her character was very sexy, just in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she plays one of Denzel's baby mamas. Lives in the ghetto with one of his kids, and at one point in the afternoon, they go there for a while, so Denzel can get laid. And Ethan Hawke
just like wait here and talk to my kid while
Ethan Hawke sits in the other room and watches cartoons with Denzel's kid while he has sex with Eva Mendes in the other room. There's some other great, I mean, just talking about like bit parts, actors in bit roles in this movie. We mentioned Eva Mendes. You mentioned Snoop Dogg in the wheelchair.
Yes.
Which is great. Yes. Dr. Dre is one of the members of the narcotics unit.
Did I also see Terry Crews?
Terry Crews is one of the guys in the ghetto. He has no lines.
I know. I was literally waiting for him to talk the whole movie. I'm like, I know that's Terry Crews. Why doesn't is he just there because he's gonna have this is early in his career, but they're still gonna give him a great moment later, and like this is the movie that made him, and it's like
this is probably like
good
super
credit.
Early in his career. This movie came out in 2001.
Yeah, he looks very young, and Terry Crews talks about how he made it later. Like, it took him longer to make it.
Yeah, he just plays like one of the like gangsters. Like
I know it was such a Cruise tease, dude. It was such a Cruise tease.
Yeah, it was such a Cruise tease. You got you had Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre.
Yep.
You got Eva Mendes, Scott Glenn, who plays the drug dealer who's like trying to retire, who they end up ripping off. Denzel ends up ripping off and then killing.
Yes.
Spoilers, sorry guys.
We don't know how to do a face swap without it. It's about meeting up after and talking about it.
Yeah. Scott Glenn, who was from Silence of the Lambs, and
oh yes, that's where I recognized him from.
He plays the FBI. He plays Jodie Foster's boss in Silence of the Lambs.
Yes, the creepy ass boss.
Yeah,
I love that shot of them together in the helicopter.
Yes. But he plays the drug dealer that gets ripped off in this movie.
Yeah.
Just a lot of great bit parts. I think Tom Berenger is like one of the like crooked LA judges that they meet up with. Just a lot of really, really great characters.
It's fun, dude. It's fun. It's fucked up, and it's so fun. Both the movies that we're talking about are a fucking blast.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's how I like a cop movie too. I like
a
nice corrupt. Yeah.
Like this one is definitely darker than Police Story.
Oh, absolutely. And they're different. They're trying to do different things, but yeah. And I wouldn't say the Police Story is a corrupt cop movie.
No, but it is
a vigilante cop movie.
Yes, yeah. We'll get to Police Story.
They're both rogue cop movies.
Yes,
and that's a specific genre of cop movie that I should have even made it even more clear that we're specifically talking about rogue cops. But like, I think that there's you don't find a police story or a story about cops that doesn't have some sort of corruption going on in it, right? I mean, I can't think of any. All right, besides like when they're the main thing.
Oh yeah, not many.
It's the entire premise of Reno 911. Anyway, so there are so many scenes that I could talk about, and it's one of those movies that like, it stands out. Every scene kind of stands out in your mind because they're so strong on their own. Like, did they do a TV show of this ever?
No. They did like one season of a TV show of this, but it did not last.
Yeah. It's a one-day movie for sure. But one of my that scene I mentioned towards the end of the movie is great, but earlier in the film, I'm trying to think about I think even the first time I think just the discovery of how he just lets the criminals go no matter what horrid crimes they've been committing. He convinces Ethan Hawke to let them go. He beats the shit out of them, but then lets them go.
Yeah, because he says he's after the big fish. He's not worried about these little petty criminals.
And that's the MacGuffin of it all.
Because you want to take out the trash, go be a garbage man.
Yeah.
What are the incredible lines?
What's the thing he keeps asking? Like, are you a lion or like what is it? Are you a wolf?
Are you a wolf?
Sheep?
Or are you a
sheep?
wolf?
Are you a wolf or you sheep? So these moments feel very tropey and generic a little bit, like but they're because of Denzel, they're so good.
Denzel brings such a ferocity to it that it's like, so we were talking about your favorite scene with the Latino gangsters and they're playing poker. Apparently, this is courtesy of IMDb trivia.
Oh, we love.
We love IMDb.
Hold on. Let me just do it. It is time.
It's time for Movie Trivia Blab.
Go ahead.
In the scene, during the scene when Jake plays cards with the Latino gangsters, director Antoine Fuqua gave certain instructions to the actors playing the gangsters without telling Ethan Hawke. This was done to further confuse him and add to the tension of the scene. So that's why, like, Ethan Hawke has that perfect look on his face where he's just now realizing that Denzel has left him there to die and that he's gonna get killed, and he's like, "Oh shit, these guys have my gun now."
Oh,
and
my
I don't know
God!
What to do. Like, because he like literally didn't know what was happening.
That was gonna happen. Wow. And now that I think about it, his face is almost like, is this take still going? Like, he clearly is processing a lot of information. Interesting. That's crazy. What else is on there trivia-wise? Anything?
A lot of potential casting stuff. Which is always great. Tobey Maguire was seriously considered for the part of Officer Jake Hoyt. He followed undercover narcotics officers in L.A. for 2 months and gained weight for the role. But he was dropped when Ethan Hawke, Fuqua's first choice, was finally available for the shooting schedule.
Oh my, damn. He got fucking ghosted on it. Damn, that sucks. Wow. Well, good thing, though. I think Ethan Hawke did a better job. But I can see them having had to compete for roles that are in a similar lane, similar vibes, I guess.
Another actor that was offered to play Ethan Hawke's character was Eminem, who was not able to do it because of 8 Mile.
Damn, I wish he did this instead. No, it wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be. Wait, he was gonna be Ethan Hawke?
He was gonna be Ethan Hawke's character. Yeah, Eminem would have been Ethan Hawke's character.
Interesting.
It would have been interesting, right? It's just a different because Eminem seems a little bit more hard than Ethan Hawke, right? So it would have been like a different take on like the rookie cop being too green, kind of an idea.
Totally. What was? Oh, you have something else?
The other thing I was gonna say is, Denzel. based his character off of a real disgraced cop and like kind of dressed like him.
Oh wow, yeah, he really was inhabiting the role. He had to have done a lot of prep.
Mm-hmm. And then the other thing was the diner scene we were talking about in the coffee shop used in the beginning of the movie was also used in Seven in the scene where Morgan Freeman meets Gwyneth Paltrow. There's the cafe is also used in Gone in 60 Seconds, Ghost World, and Catch Me If You Can.
Wow, it's the most popular diner in movies.
A famous coffee shop, but I like recognizing it. Like,
yeah, I do too.
Called Quality Cafe.
Oh.
The Quality Cafe.
I'm having a little allergy attack over here. What was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene, I think it's the scene where Ethan Hawke is finally like really understands who these guys are, is when they rob Scott Glenn and rip up his kitchen floors.
Oh, that scene is so good. You're right.
Pull that trunk of cash out of the bottom of the kitchen floor, and they open it up, and it's like millions of dollars, and they all start taking it, and he hands it to Ethan Hawke, and Ethan Hawke's like, "What?
Yeah,
no."
I love that he does these tosses it to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, whoa. Yeah. And then Denzel is like asking the other guys in the narcotics scene, and he's like, "Yo, you comfortable with this?" Like, yeah, I'm real comfortable with this. I'm real comfortable with this. They're each holding like bricks of like $250,000, like,
and they really want to kill him because he's a liability that this crazy ass their crazy ass leader is bringing in.
Oh yeah, because I mean, if they got found out for what they were doing, those guys would go to jail for a long time, you know, like, and that's what that scene where Ethan Hawke says, he goes, "This is armed." Denzel goes, "Oh yeah, we just put away one of the baddest drug dealers." He's like, "I don't feel bad. I sleep at night." And Ethan Hawke is like, "That was murder and breaking and entering and armed robbery."
Yeah. But yet, like, I'm still here.
Just because you wear a badge, that makes it different. Denzel's like, "Hell yeah, it does."
It is so good. And one of the other films by this filmmaker, because I feel like, I looked one up and I feel like I had seen a few that were really good.
Anton Fuqua is someone who's done a lot of movies.
Yeah, hit or misses, right?
But like, people don't consider his like larger like body of work as like one thing. I think he gets like not talked about enough, in my opinion. So he did The Equalizer.
That's it. Which is good, right? I haven't seen those. I want to see them.
The Equalizer movies are awesome. Also with Denzel Washington.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch them after all this. Denzel.
He did both of them. He did Shooter. He did Tears of the Sun with Bruce Willis.
Shooter. Oh, with Mark Wahlberg. That was pretty good.
Shooter. He did Southpaw with Jake Gyllenhaal, which is that boxing movie.
Yeah, he does a lot of different shit.
He's done a lot of stuff. And most of it, actually, it's like, oh yeah, that movie's pretty good. But it's just not someone who you consider like as like his like major like larger bodies of work. I'd say, I mean, Training Day is by far his most famous and his most critically acclaimed.
Yeah, of course. As it should be. It's so damn good. I don't know if you could. I don't know how to top Training Day if you're
he got to start directing music videos for Prince and Stevie Wonder and Tony Braxton.
Cool. Hell yeah. That's great.
So
no wonder Training Day is so engaging visually, even in like long car sequences and
much of that movie is them just rolling around in Denzel Washington's Monte Carlo.
I know, and I saw some car shots. I saw some car shots that I've never seen before, really, or that or a combination of them that I've never seen before, and then like, oh, this is interesting. Now they're, he's like, because that, I mean, you've seen, there's only so many ways to shoot a car, right? But yeah, the car stuff was great. His car has a huge role in the movie, and like is sort of a symbol of his
the car
field.
Is a huge. And as the day goes on, the car is getting more and more beat up and more wear down.
As
it really
he is,
as a symbol for like their own internal psyche of like what's going on.
And Ethan Hawke's purity. I mean, and as it like and then also the early on in the movie he goes, "This is my office" or whatever. This is my station. He was like, "Are we gonna go to the station?" He goes, "You're in it."
Yeah. He goes, we're going to the office. Yeah.
Exactly.
We're in it.
What else? Denzel, man. Damn.
The other thing I wanted to say about this movie, this is just some more IMDb trivia that I think were worth it. The word "fuck" is used 211 times in this movie. Yeah. They drop the F-bomb so much in this movie.
Yes, they do, but very skillfully. With great rhythm. Sometimes it felt like it never felt like it was trying to be Tarantino, I don't think.
No.
It felt like it was a part of that movement of stylized action, crime, thriller, You
know what it reminds me of? The sort of style of it. Another movie that takes place in like South Central, like LA, is Boys in the Hood. I don't know if you ever seen Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood yet.
Boys in the Hood is a great movie. But that same sort of like dreamy days of like, with the beautiful backdrop of Southern California, while all of this like intense, like horrible atrocities going on in the forefront of it, makes like for a really interesting like back and forth.
Yeah.
I think Boys in the Hood does pretty well too.
Cool.
I'm trying to find.
What you looking for?
There was I saw another. This is gonna make. I saw an IMDb trivia thing on here too about how they had to get like permission from like one of the local gang leaders to shoot there.
Give me the first part of that sentence again, because you froze, but I brought you back to life.
They had to get like permission from like one of the local gang leaders to shoot there, and a lot of the way they did it. And the way they did it, and to get into these like gang infested neighborhoods, was they allowed like a lot of members of the gang to be in the movie.
Wow.
Like
that is some strategic. Oh,
I was like driving through that neighborhood with Ethan Hawke, and he's like, "Don't ever come here without me." And you see all those guys just like mean mugging him and staring him down. Like those are all like hardcore gangsters. Yeah.
That's incredible. I mean, you could feel. I love that moment when they're like, "Go ahead," like they want to watch him get killed. They want to watch Ethan Hawke shoot him, and then they decide to help him get out of it.
Oh yeah. There's that one there at the end.
That got a little hokey, but I like
it. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Exactly.
The movie, like if you look at it out of context, it seems hokey, but in the moment, it's like, oh man, this is real.
It is.
And then you think about like all the things they actually did, you're like, oh my god, that's insane.
They just sell it. Yeah. If you start to get too heady about the plot, then it might fall apart. But they sell every moment of it.
Yeah, they really do. I love this movie. I'm so glad you finally saw it.
I'm so glad you made me watch it. You recommended it. You didn't make me watch it, but you recommended it to me. It was so good.
Yeah.
It's definitely up there in my faves.
It's what Denzel won his Best Actor for. He won a Best Actor Oscar for this movie, so.
I think he deserved it. That's what he won for? Holy shit.
Yeah, he won for this movie, yep.
Oh my god, that is well deserved.
I think he won Best Supporting for something else, but it made him the first African American to win 2 Oscars.
Oh, that's awesome. Hell yeah.
But I think he won Best Supporting maybe for Glory, I think. And then he won Best Actor for this movie, yep.
Hell yeah. Well, that was a great one. I think we're going to take a quick pause, and then we're going to switch over to Jackie Chan's Police Story, my recommendation for Matt Cragg. That's right.
Sounds great. I'm looking forward to it.
You're watching. This is Fave Swap, so stay tuned if you're a big fan of Police Story. If you're a big fan of Jackie Chan, you're going to love this next discussion, because I got to see, I get to find out what Cragg thinks of his first time viewing of Police Story. I can't wait to see your thoughts and to hear your faves. Matt Cragg.
I'm looking forward to it too. Are we taking a quick break or?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need it too, right?
Yeah, I gotta pee real quick.
Exactly. All right, we'll be right back, guys, with more Movie Blab. This weekend, guys, it's the replay, the best of Movie Blab, coming at you live again with special introductions from me and Redison. Stay tuned for more Movie Blab. It's going to be a fave swap, guys. That's right. Talking about Police Story Jackie Chan, yeah. We'll be streaming real soon. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Funky music, funky music. I actually have some new music I should be trying.
Boom, 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 boom. Okay.
Yeah, baby. Alright, guys, we're coming back. Matt Craig, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Alright, here we go. That's right, guys. We're back with some more Fave Swap on Movie Blab. We just talked about Training Day starring Denzel. I don't even need to say his last name because he's that famous.
He's just Denzel. Everybody knows Denzel.
He's the only Denzel that's as famous as this Denzel. And it was an incredible movie, and I thank you again, Craig, for recommending it to me.
Of course. It's my pleasure.
Police Fave Swap we're doing. And speaking of police, my recommendation to you was the incredible Police Story, directed, starring, everything by Jackie Chan. I was so excited to hear you hadn't seen this movie because it meant I got to share it with you, which to me feels like an eternal favor.
Police Story, I wasn't sure exactly what to expect going in.
Yeah.
I knew that this was like kind of his first movie, which kind of like brought him like onto the scene. And so I was like, okay, well, I bet he does some cool stunts, but it's a first movie, so I don't know how good can it really be. Like he's kind of an unknown at this point. He made this movie in Hong Kong.
It was not a Hollywood movie.
I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah,
I didn't know what to expect. And boy, was I so happy the whole time I was watching this movie.
It is so crazy, guys.
It is incredible. I loved this movie. I'm going to judge all movies based off of this movie from now on. I'm going to watch movies and I'm going to be like, I don't know. That movie didn't have Jackie Chan break through 5,000 panes of glass. So how interested?
Star Wars, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So the stunts in this movie are mind-blowing.
And I think that's where we should start. I think we should start with the stunts. Maybe a brief plot description.
Sure. Give us a little summary of Police Story.
Okay, so the movie starts out. Jackie Chan is a part of a narcotics unit, and they're going to raid this looks like a slum village.
Yes.
And they're going to raid this slum village because there's a drug lord in there, and he's got a bunch of money.
Yep.
And the bust goes wrong, and the guy they kill a bunch of police officers and start to make a getaway. But Jackie Chan chases him down and saves the day, and captures the drug dealer and throws him in jail. After this, he has to protect a woman who's going to be a major witness in the trial against this drug dealer. So then the rest of the movie is him kind of like protecting this woman and like the antics that they get into while he's trying to make her take her protection seriously, and also while trying to find more evidence to take down the big bad drug dealer.
Yes.
I would say that's probably the best way to describe Police Story, the plot of Police Story.
It's like a classic plot, but what's better, what it really is all about is how every moment is executed. The amount of I would say the action scenes to me just keep going and going and going. The action scenes, they just keep going and going and going. Don't you think?
You hung up there for a second.
I know. I was just saying that the action scenes, they're literally nonstop. Like they're never resting. There's no rest.
Oh, they keep
long
elevating.
Dialogue scene. He knows what you want in an action movie more than anyone. It feels like.
It does, like, because of that, it does feel like the kung fu movies of old, where it's just like you think the fight is going to be this, and then it keeps going higher and higher and higher and higher, and giving you more and more and more of like exactly. He's like, oh, I know what you want.
Yes.
You want to see me, Jackie Chan, kick 5,000 asses.
Yeah,
and that's what
I, Jackie Chan, wanted to do for you, my audience.
Yes.
And I mean, for me, my favorite stunt is the car stuff. Just those cars going through that village and just breaking, like.
Oh yeah, that's
the
like
driving
the
stuff is insane. The opening sequence is so good.
The raid that goes wrong, and so the drug dealer, as they're trying to get out, they're driving cars through the village, and Jackie Chan's chasing them, and they're just blowing stuff up and just driving through all these houses.
And it's
just
all real as fuck.
Cars are flipping down the hill, and it is real.
And
there is no CGI.
That shit. There's no compositing.
This movie was made in 1985. Yeah, there is none of that. It is real. It's like that is all one take, and they're just like, oh, let's hope we get this, like, because we're gonna blow up this entire town with all these cars. Like, let's hope this goes right. That is how he sets your expectations from the beginning. Like that is the opening. That's like the opening action set piece. I feel like action movies a lot of the times they'll start out smaller.
Yeah.
And then they get bigger. And he's like, no. This is insane. This is pure insanity. It's literally like, it reminded me of the car chase at the end of the Blues Brothers.
Yeah,
but
we haven't even mentioned that it's an extremely slapstick movie. I mean, there's a bunch of comedy going on, a la Jackie Chan's whole brand.
He acts like a vaudeville actor.
Yeah, I think that's where. I mean, he's a stuntman and a clown. That's what he does. He
stuntman and a clown. That's the best way to describe him. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is his manifesto. I mean, his greatest work.
Yeah, all the action scenes, he's just like kicking so much ass.
Yeah.
And then all the scenes of just dialogue are like really funny, like comedy scenes where he's like a mime. He's like a clown. He literally like is so expressive. There's that scene where he's literally just doing the Jerry Lewis Bellboy sketch where he's rolling around the police station, like flipping, like trying to cook his ramen, and he's like flipping phones, and like there's a really trolly
the phone stuff is so trolly and comical. The phone where he's running all those phones. Is that what you're talking about? With
yeah.
Oh my god.
I was just like using that as an example of
just one example. Yeah.
Like this huge like hardcore like crazy action movie, and then when it's not that, it's this like very silly slapstick comedy, and I love it.
I love it too.
Some of the other
question though, do you have your Ethernet going? Is your Ethernet on?
Yeah, my Ethernet's on.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm just wondering. It must be me then. I think everyone's using the internet, but it's okay. I still see you. You're still like in sync enough. It's all right.
Okay.
One day I'll figure it out,
Hear me?
guys. Yes, I can hear you great. So what were you gonna say? The other characters? Or...
I just wanted to talk about more of the action scenes.
Oh, the action scenes. Yeah.
There's so many of
your
them.
Fave.
I mean, the final mall
Yeah.
action scene, and that's the obvious choice, right?
Yeah, but it deserves it if it is your choice.
It deserves the praise that we're gonna give it because he's doing all of his own stunts. He like is directing the movie, and the stunts he's doing, they're not easy.
No.
It's not just like stage combat. Like at one point he like drives a motorcycle. He runs a guy over with the motorcycle. The guy's like holding on to the front of the motorcycle while he just drives him through glass display cases.
And even if that's breakaway glass, which it is, it doesn't matter. It's like so intense. Like what he's doing is just like, I mean, how long do you think that mall scene is?
I mean, the whole movie's only an hour and a half.
But the mall scene is like it is a long.
Probably the last 30 minutes of the movie, maybe.
Non-stop action.
The last 20 minutes of the movie, maybe.
Yeah, it's the most incredible storming of the castle I've ever seen. Like
yeah, it's a good way to put it.
And I think third acts are where a lot of those Mission Impossible movies fall short. Third acts are where a lot of, like you're saying, people start big, but then they can't maintain that in certain action films that aren't as good as this one.
Right, because people expect you to build on it. And it's like, okay, well, that was the last action set piece. What's the next one going to be like?
Exactly.
And Jackie delivers on this. I have some more IMDb trivia here.
Let me. Can I?
It's time for Movie Trivia Blab.
Did it finish? I didn't really hear it. Okay,
it's done.
Apparently, so much glass was used in this film that the crew began calling the movie Glass Story.
Oh my God, they're just constantly shoveling glass.
The producers used stunt sugar glass twice as thick as ordinary stunt glass for greater realism. But this did lead to a higher injury rate among the stunt people.
I'm sure everyone is down to get injured for Jackie Chan, the greatest stuntman of all time. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure he's got the cred by then.
So Jackie Chan was hospitalized following the stunt where he flips over the balcony and crashes through the glass and light display.
The dopest scene in the movie, the dopest shot in the film.
The one that no, that's not that one. The one you're thinking of is when he slides on the pole and they show
that's it. Yeah, that's the
They literally show the same stunt three times because they're like, no, like you don't understand how awesome
dope this was. Take another look and another look.
Another look at it from this angle and another look.
It's also the moment he saves the day.
It's also
like
the
a big moment. Yeah, it's definitely it's got one of those
in that scene
vibes.
In that scene, Jackie Chan sustained burns on his hands during the pole slide scene in the
God, ouch!
Because the Christmas lights were plugged into the wall instead of a low volt battery.
Wow!
Those lights, he's like going down and he's like ripping all those lights. Those are all like real. Yeah, he's like electrocuting his hands while he's like sliding down the pole.
Boy, was it worth it though. He's like Steve-O. Or like he's like Johnny Knoxville.
He really is like a member of Jackass, but like more intense.
He gets in that territory with this.
That mall pole slide scene was filmed in one take without any rehearsals or use of wires. So like that's just him literally just sliding down that pole. It's like he slides down like 6 stories.
Yes.
And crashes into the glass. Yeah. And then immediately like gets up and starts kicking ass again.
He makes Tom Cruise stuff that he's doing now look like nothing. Literally like nothing. Like everyone's like, wow, Tom Cruise does his own stunts.
Okay, that's still impressive that he does all of his own. That Tom Cruise still does all of his own stunts. But Tom Cruise's stunts are not. I don't feel like there's a big great risk of injury. Yeah. But it's not like likely to happen. With Jackie Chan stunts, they're like absolutely the injury is likely to happen.
Yes.
And he's doing it anyway.
And you feel it while you watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
With Tom Cruise, it's more like, look at the skill I developed. Like I can jump at it, you know. And
Tom Cruise is like, look, I learned how to fly a helicopter.
Yeah. And it's like, obviously Jackie Chan has the skills. Like, we're not even worried about that. Now look at the risk he's going to take on top of that. Like, look how much he's going to trust his skills to, you know, for better or worse, apparently. Now, there's 2 other ones of these that I haven't seen.
There's 2 other police stories.
Yeah. So one day I'm going to check those out.
I read that they did that, like, after the second police story, like, people in Hollywood approached him about packaging the 2 together and releasing it as one movie in the United States, and Jackie said no.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm glad he has his standards. That's why they probably respected that, and then they were like, "Will you do what was the big Rush Hour?"
Rush Hour, yeah, that movie's great.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, Chris Tucker.
Jackie Chan's contribution to cinema should not be underestimated.
It really shouldn't. Like,
I feel like he's not in like meme culture even enough.
I don't think we talk about him enough these days. You know? People have kind of forgotten about Jackie, and I think it's important to not forget him.
I mean, I'm sure he's just chilling right now. What's he doing? I have no idea.
I don't know. Wasn't he in one of the Expendables movies?
Maybe.
What is Jackie Chan doing these days? I'm gonna look it up.
Let's find out. Who was it?
Well, he just has gone back to making. I think he's making more movies in Hong Kong.
Oh, damn! That's dope.
Apparently, the Rush Hour 4 is rumored, which would be exciting. Shanghai. There's also like a 4th one rumored. Or no, it's announced. Shanghai Dawn has been announced.
And has he been directing movies at all? I feel like he stopped with that. I don't know though.
He is more known as an actor and producer.
Yeah.
But something is in post-production called The Diary that he directed that's supposed to come out this year.
Ooh, what's the synopsis? It's already shot, so it's corona-proof.
It says early 1930s, a young man leaves Shanghai to come to Europe and reunite with the love of his life.
Whoa.
Okay. Directed and written by Jackie Chan, starring Noah Centineo and Kevin Kline.
Is it action?
I don't know.
We gotta find out what is going on in his head. I want more. I want Police Story 4.
Yeah, I want more. I mean,
I'll take a Rush Hour. I'll take a Police Story. I'll take
crazy stunts. I know, man. I really loved this movie. Yeah. It was so fun. The other thing, but I mean, not just all the we've been talking a lot about all the stunts and everything like that, and the comedy aspect of it too.
Yeah.
I liked the politics of this movie. Kind of talking about like Jackie is like trying to fight against the system.
Yep.
You know, the cop.
He's a good cop.
He's a good cop. He's just trying to take down the powerful elites who have all this stuff, like his lawyer, like the drug dealer's lawyer is constantly getting him out of trouble and everything like that, and the cops are like too worried not to piss off the like high-powered like elite.
Yes.
And Jackie Chan's like, no, like this is a bad guy. This guy is a drug dealer. Like I'm gonna take him down and I'm gonna kick his ass. And he goes rogue to do it. And like truly, like Jackie Chan taking down the rich and powerful. Like we love to see.
You're rooting for him the whole time.
Yeah, we really are.
Yeah. Well, I think that sums it up, Matt. For me, I don't know. I think that these were two fantastic films that showed two different sides of the police, which I think is important to see both sides.
You know, I would love to see a buddy cop movie with Jackie Chan playing his character from Police Story and Denzel Washington playing his character from Training Day.
Oh my God, that's going on the list of brilliant ideas pitched on Movie Blab.
Yeah. So somebody pitch it, and you can pay me and Andrew a bunch of money for it.
Exactly.
For the idea.
I copyright every episode of my live streams. Well, guys, it's been super fun. Matt Cragg, thank you for joining me. Is there anything? Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Yeah, of course. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. At Craggum, Craggum. There I post a lot of my thoughts. I post movie reviews from my Letterboxd account. I post about politics and sports. So you can always catch what I'm thinking there on the twitter.com at Craggum.
Hell yeah. And I, of course, am going to plug a little thing I like to call Movie Blab. You just watched it, maybe. And it's there for you on all your favorite platforms. We're on YouTube, we're on Twitch, we are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, and we are on Facebook. We're having an incredible time here. We're doing a ton of episodes, and this has been a great week of top 10 lists and fave swaps. We've got more coming your way. So please stay tuned, support, like, do all those good things. Stay safe, wear a fucking mask. Wear a mask.
Subscribe to the Patreon.
Wear a mask. Then subscribe to the Patreon. First, wear a mask.
Put on a mask to subscribe to the Patreon.
But we mean it, guys. Stay safe. Stay home. Save lives. We love you at Movie Blab, and we don't want to lose anyone. That's the truth. All right, guys. We will see you next time.
Much love, gang.
Hey everybody, I'm Andrew Edison, and you're tuned in
to Movie Blab.
Good afternoon.
The clock has started.
The clock has started.
Thanks for joining us, guys. This has been Movie Blab. Please be safe, stay home, and subscribe, like, comment. You got nothing else to do. We love you, you love us, and we'll see you next time on Movie Blab tomorrow.
Spread